All right, welcome back to Hannity. Now, as we told you earlier this week, there's a major crisis in this country. Equal justice under the law, and everything that we hold sacred as a country is now under flagrant assault by an overreaching, highly unethical group of investigators, those led by the special counsel, Robert Mueller. Now, tonight, we will do what the mainstream media will never do because they're ideological in every sense of the word. You want the truth. We will investigate the investigators and tonight expose their corruption and their massive conflicts of interest. Now, we'll have all of that and more in this very important monologue. All right, tonight, since we are the complete opposite of the Destroy Trump media, and since we really care about truth, at the end of the day, don't you deserve the truth? We're going to tell you something you will not hear about anywhere else. That is the massive conflicts of interest coming from the special counsel, Robert Mueller, and his team. This is beyond shocking. It is beyond disturbing. Now, the special counsel's investigation has become a partisan witch hunt that is now rotten to the core. This is the type of thing, frankly, sadly, you'd expect in a banana republic. Not in the United States of America, and here's why. Now, just take a look at the side of your screen. Now, these are the political donations that key members of Mueller's team have made to Democrats over the years, including, look at that, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And when you add it all up, it's over $50,000. Now, you'd have to be stupid to think that investigators donated all of that money to people like Clinton and Obama, but they're going to be fair and unbiased in their investigation against Donald Trump and a Republican. Just imagine if the tables were turned and it was a Republican donors investigating Democrats. The left, the media in this country, they would be apoplectic, and they'd be calling for the special counsel to be shut down immediately. Isn't this the height of hypocrisy? Now, let's start with the special counsel, Robert Mueller himself. A lot of people have been saying sterling record, above reproach. Sadly, that's a lie. Mueller has glaring conflicts of interest. For example, as we've been telling you on this program, back in 2009, when he was the FBI director, the FBI uncovered a Russian bribery plot involving, let's see, money laundering and kickbacks and extortion and racketeering. Mueller was the head of the FBI. The FBI knew in 2009. They had an inside informant. They had tapes. They had documents. They had emails. And yet, as far as we know, Mueller did nothing to stop Vladimir Putin and the Russians from trying to corner 20% of America's uranium market, the foundational material to make nuclear weapons. That's scary. That would mean Mueller would be complicit in that huge, massive scandal, and we will have a big breaking news story tomorrow for you on that issue. And by the way, that includes Barack Obama and also other key administration officials, and we know Bill and Hillary Clinton are up to their eyeballs in this. You can't ignore the fact that also Mueller is best buddies with the disgraced former FBI director, James Comey, who, by the way, in the end could end up being a key witness in this investigation. Now, according to Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett, that could be a violation of 2 federal laws. Now, it's also a massive conflict of interest. And we can't forget that the day before Mueller was named special counsel, oh, yeah, he actually interviewed with President Trump. He wanted his FBI director job back. Now, because of that alone, Mueller should never have been appointed to lead this investigation because he didn't get the job. Then there's this guy, Andrew Weissmann. Pay close attention to his name. He is now Mueller's top investigator, at least one of them, in the Russian probe. Now, remember, he's the Obama-loving federal prosecutor. Oh, let's see, he donated over $4,000 to the former president and the DNC. Now, Weissmann also has a very deeply troubling history of using strong-arm prosecutorial tactics. Now, our colleague Greg Jarrett did some digging into Weissmann's past. Here's what he found. Back during the Enron accounting scandal, Weissmann was a hard-charging prosecutor on the task force that brought a controversial obstruction of justice case against the accounting firm. It was called Arthur Andersen, that eventually put the company out of business, cost tens of thousands of people their jobs. Now, what Weissmann did was so egregious that in 2005, imagine this, the Supreme Court of the United States, how often do we hear of unanimous decisions? Well, they overturned Weissmann's conviction, a 9-0 unanimous ruling. But Weissmann's troubling behavior doesn't even end there. His criminalization of a business transaction between Enron and Merrill Lynch, well, that sent people to jail. That was overturned by the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, critics have accused Weissman of using intimidating tactics, intimidating witnesses, creating crimes that don't exist, and in one case in particular, actually withholding evidence that would have helped a defendant. Really? And just like Mueller and so many other Obama officials, Weissman is also tied to the corrupt Uranium One deal and the ensuing cover-up. We'll have a lot of news tomorrow. Pay attention. Weissman ran the DOJ's fraud section during the Russian bribery scheme, and Greg Jarrett actually picked this up. All kudos to him, that his name, Weissman's name, and his signature are actually on the bottom of the plea agreement signed by the Russian businessman involved in that case. Now, another name and signature on that document is now the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, another conflict. Remember, he's the one who appointed Robert Mueller as special counsel. Rosenstein seems also complicit in this Uranium One scandal because back then he helped oversee the investigation as a U.S. attorney. All of the key players involved in this are actually an embarrassment to the justice system. All of them have major conflicts. All of them, Mueller, Weissman, Rosenstein, they should have recused themselves. How could they be capable of investigating themselves? This entire Russia investigation was supposed to be about so-called Russian collusion. But so far, no evidence. Zero, zip, nada. And here's something the media will never tell you because they are so corrupt. Now, if it was anyone else besides Mueller, Weissman, Rosenstein, and the rest of this corrupt cast of characters, they'd all be investigating the Clintons and the Clinton campaign and the DNC and, frankly, Obama. Except they can't because they're all compromised in investigating the Uranium One deal and other things. Now, because we now have incontrovertible evidence of all this wrongdoing. Now, here's why they will do nothing. Now, these people are all part of the D.C. judicial swamp. Notice that they're in one investigation one year, the next one the next year, the year after. Real investigations into the Clintons would expose all of them and their complicit behavior. We're going to have a lot more on this tomorrow night. More coming up.